With back pain and sciatica, stretching makes up an important part of the recovery process, but all too often people choose the wrong sort of exercises. And that's why today we've got a live routine that you can follow along with in real time that is going to be appropriate for those of you with lower back pain. Maybe you've got some buttock pain, maybe you've got some sciatica down the leg, or maybe a mix of those three or all of them at the same time. And it's going to help you provide relief from the strain at the root cause of your problem. So whether it's a herniated disc that you've got at L5-S1, you've got some sort of bulging or degenerative discs in that lower lumbar spine, or you've just got that sciatica and you're not really sure exactly the cause, this is going to help you alleviate pressure on the root cause of the symptoms without violating some of the principles of good spine health. Before we get into the live routine, just a few quick points to help make sure that you can make this as effective as possible for you. Stretches give you an opportunity to lessen the stress and strain that daily life puts on your lower back. So whether it's an injury at L4-5, L5-S1 in the lower lumbar spine, or a more minor strain, maybe to the discs, these are going to work in two key ways to help you immediately. The first of which is going to be that two of these stretches are going to help literally take pressure off the spine, the ligaments and the muscles around there to give them that respite from squashing down all day. The second is going to be that it's going to help mobilize those hip joints so the hips have a little bit more mobility instantly, meaning that the movements of daily life need less to involve the lower back as the hips can partake in more of that movement. It's important to understand that stretching offers you this temporary benefit. So you can use this alongside other tools to regularly take pressure off the spine, giving it that respite, or mobilize the hips, giving that extra amount of freedom of mobility. Because through your daily life, stress and strain is going to build up. Many of you are still working, you're looking after the kids, you're living daily life, which is putting strain through your lower back. So it gives you that periodic opportunity to take some strain off the spine, as we've mentioned with the first point. And with the second, by mobilizing those hips, when you're sat in the car for long periods, or sat at the office for long periods, or doing other bits and pieces that tighten up those legs, even from the very pain itself, sending signals to tighten up those legs, relieving that stiffness to a degree on a regular basis is just going to offset this constant cycle that people find themselves in with daily pain. Simply put, if your hips can move better, they're going to help decrease the amount of provocation that your lower back's going to get on a daily basis, resulting in those silly little flare-ups that seem to happen for no reason. With stretches, especially when we have lower back pain, technical accuracy is of vital importance, not only to make the thing effective itself, but actually to avoid aggravation and unnecessary irritation of those injuries down in the lower back, be they a disc herniation or something else. Now, with the two of the stretches that are addressing the spine, the more important thing here is how we get into the position. You're going to be lying down on your front in one instance and on your back in the other. And if you're not taking care with getting onto the floor or onto the bed to do these stretches, then you're going to be moving in ways that's going to unnecessarily aggravate your lower back. And that's nothing to do with the stretch. That's just that you did a bad thing before you got into the position to do the stretch. So you have to take care there. The other group of stretches, which are addressing the hips, there are common mistakes that more or less everybody, when they start the program or when we see them in the clinic, make. And that is with the hamstring stretch, the hip flexor stretch, and the glute stretch. When they do the hamstring stretch, which you're going to do in a moment, they round the lower back reaching forwards rather than focusing the movement through the hip socket only. This provokes the lower back, creates unnecessary aggravation, and although you'll get a resulting stretch if you push hard enough, you're going to aggravate your back, meaning that the soreness comes back sooner. The second, with the hip flexor, a common mistake when people do this is they push their hips forwards too far, arching their lower back, creating a degree of pinching at the base of the spine, L5-S1 and L4-5 in particular. And this is going to aggravate your symptoms and can often give sharp local pain. Again, doing this, we've made a mistake. So although we might actually stretch the hip flexor doing it this way, eventually, if we pull far enough, we're actually doing it at a cost of aggravating our lower back. So again, symptoms come back faster. The final one, the glute stretch, people again with this one often curl themselves over and twist when they're trying to pull that knee towards the chest, resulting in rotations and flexions, and often a combination of both at the same time, going through that lumbar spine. Now, this is particularly provocative for disc injuries, herniations, etc. And so while we might get an effective, pleasant stretch in the moment through the glutes, we've again aggravated the lower back. We get an inflammatory reaction that starts to take place as we finish up this little great routine. And then we find a couple of hours or a couple of minutes later, we're back to square one again with tightness and stiffness and pain. So taking care to avoid these mistakes when you're doing this routine is of vital importance. If you think you're not doing it quite right, pause and maybe practice these separately on their own in front of a mirror or with some recording to make sure you can do them without aggravation of your symptoms. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the routine. With this back pain relief stretching routine, we're going to be doing a couple of stretches. So the first one is going to be the hamstring stretch in this position. Now from the side, looks like so, nice neutral spine held here, bum going backwards like so. We should feel it on the back of the thigh. The next one we're going to move on to, and I would suggest you do it next to a chair or a sofa or the bed, is going to be the kneeling position to stretch the hip flexor on the front of the groin or the front of the hip. If your knees are uncomfortable here, put a cushion underneath the knee. You can also do it on the side of the bed like so, which will be a little bit more comfortable for those of you with any knee trouble. And then we're going to switch over to the glute stretch, which is a great one where we can pull our knee up to here, pop ourselves into this position again, staying nice and tall, pulling this knee towards this shoulder in that direction there to achieve a stretch. Make sure you keep your chest out and tall as we're doing this one. Once we've done that, that's the hips out of the way. We're going to move over to the bed decompression stretch, in which we're going to need to pop ourselves onto our front nice and slowly, get our arms over the edge of the bed, relax the rest of our body, and pressing our elbows backwards into the side of the bed, holding there for 3 seconds, and then relaxing. We're going to do 10 pumps together, and then we're going to slowly pop ourselves up. You'll be able to do it a bit easier getting off the bed, or roll onto your back if you're going to stay on the bed for this one. And we're going to pop ourselves onto the floor, nice and slowly. And then we're going to pop the towel underneath our lower back to finish up for 3 minutes. When we finish, we'll roll to the side and pop ourselves up, and that'll be the routine done. I'm going to time everything as we go along, so you guys can do it literally in real time. Just focus on watching the video, doing the stretches correctly, and getting the benefit from here. Focus on your technique more than anything else, and transition from one move to the other nice and slowly. So get yourself into position. We're going to start off on the one leg for the hamstring stretch. We're holding each of these stretches for 30 seconds. So get into position, nice and tall, and feel that stretch. Here we go. Five seconds left. And come out of the stretch, nice and slow. Swap over to the other side, leg out into position, feel the stretch, and let's go. Five seconds left. And come out of the stretch. Let's get down onto the floor to do the hip flexor, or if you're doing it on the side of the bed, that's fine too. Get into position, nice neutral spine, and hold that stretch. 5 seconds left. And come out of the stretch slowly, swap over legs, and let's go back in. Find that stretch on the front of the hip, and let's go. Five seconds left. and come out of that nice and slow. Pop yourself onto the chair, the bed, wherever you're doing this. Let's get ready for the glute stretch. So one leg over the other. Let's pop this into position, hold onto the knee, pull towards the chest, nice and tall with the posture, and let's go. Five seconds left. And come out of the stretch. We're going to swap sides. Bring that up into position. Make sure you stood nice and tall. Pull it towards the shoulder and let's go. 5 seconds left. And done. Now, giving you a bit of time, guys. If you need to pause the video, pause it. Let's get onto the bed, into the right position for this bed decompression. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 reps here. So nice and slow. Position yourself correctly. We'll pop that down there. And then what we're going to do is get ready. Our arms locked together. Have your hands on your forehead so you've got support and you can rest and relax your neck. And then what we're going to do is pressing our elbows back into the side. Here we go. We're going to hold it for 3 seconds each time. And press in. Feel the stretch. 2, 3. Relax. 2, 3. Press in. 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 2, 3. Relax. 2, 3. That's our bed decompression done. Let's slowly maybe roll onto your side first so you're a little bit more comfortable, a little bit easier. Now, if you want to roll straight onto your back to do the bed decompression on the bed, that's fine, or the towel on the bed. If you're going to do it on the floor with me, that's fine too. Either way, give you a nice bit of time. As I'm doing, slowly rolling yourself into position. And then you need that phone for the timer. Let's get our towel lifted up, placed underneath the lower back. We should feel our back arching now. Nice and relaxed. Place your hands on your tummy. And we're going to just relax here now for 3 minutes. Let's go. Not. One more minute. And that's 3 minutes. Now, before you get up, just give yourself a moment. We're going to roll slowly to the side. So keep your spine nice and still. You're going to tip yourself over very, very slowly. And you might want to just stay here for a moment or two. Don't get up with me. Stay here down for a few more moments just to relax. But when you do get up, you're going to pop yourself up like so. If you're near the bed, you can always use the bed to help you back to your feet. Try your best to keep your spine nice and straight without rounding your lower back. And then you're going to pop yourself up. Now, as a little pro tip, if you're struggling with lower back pain, right now you're going to get a little bit of ice down on that lower back there for 3 to 5 minutes. It works really, really well. Try and keep good posture for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. Maybe just walk around the house with that ice on the lower back. Nothing crazy, but just let your body settle into that and then get on with your day. You can come back to this routine, ideally 2 or 3 times a day. It doesn't take very long, as you found, and it'll really help you offset that strain from daily life while you're doing all of your other good work. Remember, the relief-based work is just part of the process. We must be doing proper strengthening and rehabilitative work alongside this to make sure we're actually building up the integrity of our lumbar spine. These are the strength-based exercises that we talk about on the channel, on the program, and they are what is going to help you leverage the relief that you get from this routine and actually build up your body so it's stronger and stronger and more capable of dealing with the stress and strain of daily life, and then the stress and strain of those activities, those sports, those hobbies that actually bring us enjoyment from life. So hopefully you can marry these two together nicely with our help or on your own to really get results and get your back in shape for the long term. Thanks for watching. And if you did find this one helpful, consider sharing it with someone else and bookmark the page so you can come back to this routine time and time again.